Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Yes, welcome back.
Today we're going on a journey you won't find anywhere else.
Oh, absolutely.
We're taking a deep dive into the mind of Christopher Langan.
Fascinating guy.
Now you might be asking, who is Christopher Langan?
Good question.
He's often called the smartest man in the world.
Because of his incredibly high IQ.
But this deep dive, it isn't just about numbers.
No.
We're going beyond IQ to explore his unusual life story.
Yeah.
And his thought-provoking ideas about intelligence and reality.
Absolutely.
And even the existence of God.
Mm.
So get ready, because it's going to be a wild ride.
It is a fascinating story, really.
It is.
What I find so captivating about Langan is that his story flips the script on what we think we know about intelligence and success.
Yeah.
He didn't take the typical path
Right.
of, let's say, a university professor or a high-flying entrepreneur.
Right.
He chose a simple life working on a ranch.
Yeah. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it?
It does.
I mean, this is someone who dropped out of college,
Yeah.
spent time as a bouncer, and faced some real economic struggles.
Right.
Not exactly the picture of genius we usually see, right?
It challenges that idea
Yeah.
that a high IQ automatically equals a smooth ride in life.
Right.
Langan's story suggests there's so much more to a fulfilling life. Things like opportunity,
Right.
the people you connect with,
Yeah.
and the choices you make along the way.
It really prompts us to think, what does a meaningful life truly look like?
Absolutely.
Is there more to it than just conventional markers of success?
Yeah, for sure.
And here's where things take a really interesting turn.
That way.
Despite not following a typical path, Langan's thirst for knowledge never faded.
No, it didn't.
He actually developed his own theory.
Okay.
It's called the Cognitive-Theoretic Model of the Universe, or CTMU.
The CTMU.
Try saying that 3 times fast.
It's a mouthful.
But basically,
Yeah.
it's his attempt to understand the very fabric of reality itself.
The CTMU is undeniably dense and complex, even for those well-versed in philosophy or physics.
Yeah.
But what strikes me is the sheer ambition behind it.
Right.
Langan wasn't content with piecemeal explanations of how things work. He wanted a unified theory
Oh, wow.
that could explain it all,
Yeah.
from the tiniest particles to the mysteries of consciousness.
Wow.
It's a testament to the power of relentlessly pursuing what fascinates you,
Yeah.
even if it takes you down unconventional roads.
Absolutely.
It's fascinating.
And speaking of big questions,
Okay.
Langan tackles the one that's puzzled humanity for centuries.
Oh, yeah.
Does God exist?
A big question.
His answer is a resounding yes.
Uh-oh.
But here's the catch.
All right.
His reasoning isn't based on blind faith or religious texts alone.
Interesting.
Instead, he uses logic and argues that the very concept of identity points to the existence of something greater than ourselves.
Well, think of it like this.
Okay.
The fact that anything exists at all.
That there's something rather than nothing
Right.
implies an identity.
Okay.
And this identity,
Yeah.
with its inherent qualities of existence, consciousness and self-awareness,
Right.
aligns with many descriptions of God throughout history.
So in essence, the very nature of being suggests a higher being.
Precisely.
A pretty radical idea, right?
It is, and Langan takes it a step further.
Okay.
He proposes that reality itself could be a kind of self-simulation, with God as the ultimate source,
Okay.
the ultimate processor.
Hold on. A self-simulation.
Yes.
So like we're all living in a giant computer program created by God?
Well, it's similar to the concept of a simulated universe,
Okay.
but Langan's idea is more nuanced.
Okay.
He's not suggesting we're just lines of code in some external computer.
Right.
Instead, he proposes that reality is a self-contained system,
Okay.
a simulation that's constantly being generated and sustained by God.
That's a mind-bending concept for sure.
It is, but it raises fascinating questions about the nature of consciousness,
Yeah.
existence,
Right.
and the power of the mind itself.
Absolutely.
Okay, this is where things get really wild.
All right. I'm intrigued.
Langan believes that consciousness is everywhere, not just in humans or animals.
Okay.
Does that mean the table we're sitting at is conscious?
Langan would say yes, but on a different level.
Okay.
He argues that the universe is made up of these fundamental units of reality called quanta.
Right.
And these quanta, although incredibly tiny, possess a basic form of consciousness. He calls them identity operators,
Okay.
suggesting that even at the smallest level,
Yeah.
there's a capacity to receive input.
Okay.
process information, and generate output.
So we humans are also made up of these quanta.
Right.
But we're organized in a more complex way.
Exactly.
Leading to our more developed form of consciousness.
It's like the difference between a single musical note and a symphony orchestra. Both involve sound, but the complexity and depth vary greatly.
Whoa, okay, my mind is officially blown.
It is fascinating, isn't it?
But wait, there's more.
Okay, let's hear it.
Langan doesn't shy away from topics that many people might consider conspiracy theories.
Okay.
Like angels, demons, even the devil himself.
Langan's views on the supernatural are certainly striking.
Yeah.
He distinguishes between Satan, who he sees as a force of chaos and destruction that relies on humans for power, and Lucifer, the fallen angel. Langan suggests that Satan gains influence through human systems and structures, especially those driven by greed and the desire for control.
So think about powerful institutions or systems that may be focused more on profit and power than on the well-being of people.
It's a pretty provocative idea, isn't it?
It is.
That these systems could be manipulated by, well, evil forces.
So where does all of this lead us?
Right, I'm following you.
Well, Langan is very critical of what he calls the globalist agenda.
Okay.
He believes that certain elites are working behind the scenes to undermine national sovereignty and individual freedoms.
This ties into his view of Satan gaining power through human systems. He argues that certain technologies of surveillance and control are being used to manipulate entire populations. It's a complex issue with passionate voices on all sides.
Absolutely.
And Langan's perspective definitely falls on the more controversial end of the spectrum.
Right. And his views on recent political events, particularly his initial support for Donald Trump as a disruptor to the globalist agenda, are pretty thought-provoking. Even if they might ruffle some feathers.
Langan's perspective on events like the COVID-19 pandemic and the idea of a great reset aligns with his skepticism of centralized power and his emphasis on individual liberties. He's essentially suggesting that these events are being used to further erode our freedoms.
And autonomy.
It's important to remember that these are complex issues.
They are.
With multiple perspectives.
For sure.
And Langan's is just one among many.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't stop there.
There's more.
Langan also dives into topics like UFOs and the possibility of alien influence.
Interesting.
He points out that even high-ranking intelligence officials are now openly discussing these possibilities.
It does make you wonder, doesn't it?
It does.
That's really out there.
Langan emphasizes that the sheer number of UFO sightings, coupled with the credibility of some of the witnesses, warrants serious investigation. He doesn't necessarily claim to have concrete proof of extraterrestrial life, but he urges us to be open-minded and to question the narratives that dismiss these phenomena outright.
Makes sense.
After all, the universe is vast and full of mysteries.
It is.
And what we consider impossible today might be commonplace tomorrow.
That's a good point.
In a world so often obsessed with material wealth and status.
Langan's search for meaning beyond the purely physical is incredibly refreshing.
I agree.
He introduces a concept called the telic economy.
The telic economy.
Which moves beyond money and focuses on deeper values like truth, beauty, and purpose.
Langan is essentially drawing upon ancient philosophies that emphasize the interconnectedness of everything in the universe and the inherent purpose within each element.
I like that.
He suggests that true fulfillment comes from aligning ourselves with this telic economy, pursuing truth, cultivating beauty, and living a life of meaning and purpose.
Absolutely.
It's about recognizing that there's more to life than just accumulating possessions or chasing external validation.
This has been quite a journey already.
Ted.
And we've only just scratched the surface of Langan's thought-provoking ideas.
There's so much more to explore.
There is.
In the next part, we'll delve even deeper into his concepts of free will, the nature of consciousness, and his perspective on finding meaning in a materialistic world.
Stay tuned, folks. This is just the beginning of our deep dive into the mind of Christopher Langan.
Absolutely. Welcome back to our deep dive into the mind of Christopher Langan.
Now, before we ventured into the realm of UFOs and the telic economy, we were discussing his unique perspective on beauty and its connection to truth.
Very interesting.
Now, get ready for another mind-bending concept. Langan's take on free will.
Oh, free will.
Yeah, free will. It's one of those ideas that's been debated for centuries,
It
right?
has been, yeah.
We hear a lot these days about how free will might be an illusion,
Right.
how our choices are predetermined by our genes or our upbringing. But Langan takes a very different stance.
Okay.
He firmly believes we do have free will.
Okay.
But it's not the simplistic kind of free will we often imagine.
So how does he see it then?
Well,
Yeah.
Langan argues that our choices operate within a far more intricate framework than traditional cause and effect models allow. He introduces this concept called metacausation.
Metacausation.
Suggesting that cause and effect might actually work in a loop.
A loop, okay.
Involving both the past and the future.
Okay, hold on a second.
Yeah.
A loop.
Yeah.
That sounds a bit like time travel or something.
Right.
How does that even work in the context of our everyday choices?
It's a tricky concept to wrap your head around.
It is.
But imagine you're making a decision right now.
Okay.
Langan would argue that your choice isn't solely determined by your past experiences,
Right.
your memories, or your upbringing.
Okay.
He suggests it's also shaped by your future goals
Several.
and aspirations,
Right.
which are pulling you forward in a sense.
So it's like our future desires are somehow influencing our present choices.
Yeah.
That's a pretty radical idea, isn't it?
It is.
So how does that work?
Langan argues that this metacausation
Right.
is essential for free will to truly exist.
Okay.
If our choices were purely a product of the past,
Yeah.
we'd be like robots, just reacting to pre-programmed instructions.
Hi.
But by incorporating the future into the equation,
Right.
we introduce this element of genuine choice, of self-determination.
Okay.
It suggests that we're not just puppets on strings,
Right.
but active participants in shaping our own destiny.
I'm starting to see how this all fits together.
Okay.
But where does God fit into all of this?
Right.
How does Langan connect metacausation with the divine?
Well, Langan sees God as the ultimate orchestrator of this entire metacausal process.
Okay.
God provides the framework, the telic structure we talked about earlier,
Yeah.
within which our free will operates. He doesn't dictate our every choice,
Okay.
but he sets the stage,
Right.
allowing us to make meaningful decisions that contribute to the unfolding of the universe.
So it's like we're actors in a play.
Yeah.
And God is the playwright who's written the script.
Right.
But we still have the freedom to interpret our roles
Yeah.
and improvise a bit.
That's an excellent analogy.
Okay, good.
Langan emphasizes that our choices have real consequences,
Right.
not just for our own lives,
Yeah.
but for the broader tapestry of reality.
Really?
And because we're connected to God through this metacausal loop,
Right.
our choices can even subtly influence the divine plan.
Wow. That's a lot of responsibility to carry.
No pressure or anything.
No pressure at all.
But in all seriousness, Langan's view of free will is both empowering and humbling. It suggests we have genuine agency, that our choices truly matter in the grand scheme of things,
Right.
but it also reminds us that we're part of something much larger than ourselves.
Okay.
A cosmic drama orchestrated by a higher intelligence.
This is definitely making me rethink my own choices.
Okay, so we've covered Langan's unconventional life,
Yes.
his mind-boggling theory of the universe,
Right.
his belief in God,
Mm-hmm.
and now this intriguing concept of metacausation and free will.
It's a lot to absorb.
It is.
And we've only just scratched the surface.
I know, right?
Langan has such profound and at times
Controversial views on a vast array of topics.
Yeah.
From consciousness and the workings of the universe at the quantum level
Right.
to the very nature of good and evil.
It's like opening one door only to discover a whole labyrinth of other doors waiting to be explored.
Exactly. This deep dive is really just a glimpse into Langan's thought-provoking perspective.
Yeah.
Our hope is that it sparks your own curiosity and encourages you to grapple with these big questions yourself.
Before we wrap up this part,
Okay.
we want to leave you with something to ponder.
Right.
Something Langan himself emphasizes. He urges us to nurture a personal connection with God, however you define that,
Right.
to seek truth and meaning beyond the material world,
Yeah.
and to make choices that align with a greater purpose.
That's a good takeaway.
And even if you don't agree with everything Langan proposes,
Yeah.
his journey is a powerful reminder that intelligence takes many forms.
And that even the most unconventional paths can lead to extraordinary insights. Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into the mind of Christopher Langan.
Yes, welcome back.
We've explored his thoughts on intelligence,
Reality,
consciousness, God,
the supernatural.
even the supernatural, not to mention free will.
Yeah.
And the idea that the future might influence the present.
It's been quite a ride.
It has been quite a ride.
But there's one more piece of the puzzle we need to explore.
Okay.
Something Langan calls the telic economy.
Ah, yes, the telic economy.
It's a fascinating concept that challenges us to think about value and meaning in a completely different way. It might sound a bit like a complex economic theory.
Yeah.
But it's actually much more profound than that.
Okay, so telic economy. Break it down for us.
Yeah,
what exactly is Langan getting at here?
Well, Langan uses the word telic to refer to purpose or goal-directedness. So the telic economy encompasses everything in the universe that has inherent purpose, value, and meaning.
Think of it as a cosmic accounting system.
Okay.
Where truth, beauty, and goodness are the ultimate currencies.
So it's not about material wealth or financial success.
Not at all. It's about aligning ourselves with a deeper purpose.
Okay.
Kind of cosmic balance sheet.
Exactly. Langan argues that in the material world, scarcity often leads to competition and conflict.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But in the telic economy, abundance is the rule.
Okay.
The more we invest in truth, beauty, and goodness, the more those qualities flourish, both in our own lives and in the world around us.
I love that idea.
It is beautiful, isn't it?
That by focusing on these deeper values, we actually create a ripple effect of abundance.
It's powerful.
So how do we invest in this telic economy?
Good question.
What are the actions or choices that generate the highest returns in this system?
Well, Langan would say that pursuing truth, cultivating beauty, and acting in accordance with goodness are the key investments. These actions contribute to the overall harmony and flourishing of the universe.
Right.
And in turn, they enrich our own lives with meaning and purpose.
It sounds like a beautiful cycle.
It is.
The more we give to the world in terms of these positive qualities, the more we receive in return.
Absolutely. It's almost like a spiritual law of reciprocity.
Precisely. And it's a refreshing perspective in a world that often prioritizes material gain and external validation above all else.
It really is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This has been an incredible journey into the mind of Christopher Langan.
It has been fascinating.
His ideas are definitely challenging.
They are.
But they offer such a unique perspective on life's biggest questions.
And even if you don't agree with everything Langan proposes, we hope this deep dive has sparked your own curiosity.
Absolutely.
And encouraged you to think critically about your own beliefs and values.
As Langan might say, the pursuit of truth is a lifelong adventure.
It is.
So keep questioning.
Keep exploring.
And keep seeking those deeper meanings that enrich our lives and connect us to something greater than ourselves.
Wonderful words to live by.
They are.
We'd like to thank you for joining us on this thought-provoking exploration.
Yeah, we hope you've enjoyed diving into the world of Christopher Langan as much as we have.
Absolutely.
And remember, there's a new deep dive waiting for you every single day.
Exploring a wide range of fascinating topics just like this one.
So make sure you check back soon.
If you're eager to continue your own journey of self-discovery and unlock your full potential, visit www.ultimatemastles.org/coaching.
Or send a WhatsApp message to +2 5677 1324 119
for more information.
And if you found this deep dive insightful, please share it with others who might benefit from these thought-provoking ideas.
Yeah, spread the knowledge.
Let's spread the knowledge and keep those minds engaged.
Absolutely.
Until next time, keep those minds open and never stop searching for truth and meaning in this amazing universe we call home.
Well said.